सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Om, may He protect us both. May we both enjoy together. May we both exert together. May our studies become brilliant. We should not be disputatious and hate each other. Om, peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the ongoing Tattva Bodha classes. What I like about this shloka, the invocation, is especially the last. The whole thing is got a lot of importance and meaning. But the last, may we not become disputatious and start hating each other. Because somewhere down the line, when we are studying the greatest scriptures known to mankind from the Vedas, there are a lot of people who have studied what I would like to call different branches of spirituality. And each and everybody is at a different stage of spirituality. So many times it can occur, it may sound like or look like that a particular teacher saying a particular thing, we may find it a little discrepancy in that, a little disturbance in that, because this is not what my teacher taught. This person is saying something different. So that person is talking from a different level. So purity in its complete form is also not understood. In that case, a true student is one who listens to the teacher, doesn't pass any judgment whatsoever. I am not saying that we should not inquire. There is a difference between inquiry and questioning. Okay, you'll learn this today. When we use the term inquiry, it means a humbleness in the attitude of the student to learn more, to learn further, and an understanding that my teacher, whoever he or she is, it can be a child like Adi Shankaracharya or Jnaneshwar, or it can be a grand old man like Ramana Maharishi or Paramhamsa. It really doesn't make a difference. Knowledge needs to be respected. Doesn't matter from which personality it comes, man, woman or child. So an understanding from the student's point of view that he or she knows about this subject much more than me, perhaps, because they have studied in a very systematic process. They have gone to a particular place, they have got a particular guru, and it is not a weekend guru or a yearly pilgrimage guru. They have studied under that person for X amount of years. They have dedicated their lives to this study and propagation of this knowledge. So there must be something, a little bit, maybe even 2%. They must be knowing more than what I know. That kind of a surrender. So any kind of an inquiry comes from that surrender. So you may ask 1,000 questions, as far as inquiry is concerned about why, sir, are you saying this, or why, madam, are you saying this. And any teacher worth the salt, really, because I have not yet found any teacher who is arrogant enough to say, I will not teach. They will teach, but according to the student. So they may give probably 100 answers, all arriving at the same conclusion. They'll help you in every way. But if there is the attitude of arrogance, not inquiry, an attitude of arrogance in questioning, let me see what he or she knows, and you ask a question, and the question is answered according to the teacher's capability, because the teacher, as far as these online classes are concerned, the biggest problem is teacher doesn't know whom he or she is talking to. So he can be a spiritual novice, a starter, it can be a spiritual intermediate, or he can be a spiritual, probably a Mahatma at that percentage of 80 to 90. So when the teacher online especially is talking to a spiritual initiate, the others may think he doesn't know much, he or she doesn't know much. When he talks the highest, the other people are lost. So he has to strike a balance. So in this sequence, he will give an answer and move on. But the arrogation should not be there in the student. He or she doesn't know. Now, why I am getting this is because when we are talking about theories in Vedanta philosophy, there may be a lot of people, because there are people who say that I think so, we should meditate. Then there are ones, people like us, we say that please don't meditate. You don't start with meditation, you end with meditation. So a person who's already practicing meditation, practicing various therapies or any of these things where we put them in its place, saying that this is not needed for a higher evolution, but people don't understand that. So then there is this thought that, oh, I think this person is different, that becomes a disputation. And as soon as a dispute comes, as soon as the conditioning comes, preconditioning of the student, then the shutters for further knowledge as far as this recipient is concerned is put down. Knowledge ceases to exist as far as that recipient is concerned. So always spirituality is basic thing. So when I use the term spirituality, I take it very lightly, saying that in colloquial language, in normal language, let's decide it as self-development. It is, you develop yourself, you become better and better person. So when you take all the stuff, all the knowledge from these great spiritual books and digest it, all these spiritual books, when you digest it, you find that all of them are saying the same thing, albeit in different languages, to different sects of people. That's all is the difference. So we should not be pig-headed about anything and say this is the way it is. So spirituality, that's one line always which says that this is the way I have found my path. You find your way. It's okay. Whichever way you think is comfortable, you do it. But understand that from where the talk is coming from a different place. It's coming from a higher place. It's not wrong or right. It may just be that I am at present not attuned to that level of understanding. So what you do, you give a benefit of doubt to the teacher, listen, digest the knowledge, keep it with you until you become it. So there are only two possibilities. Either the teacher is wrong, you use your own head, okay? Logic and reason. Use always what intellect that nature has given you, logic and reason, and analyze what the teacher is saying. And if you don't find the teacher's analysis proper, you find it a little disturbing and it's upsetting your balance of study, then you leave it, you let it go. It's okay, but don't hate the teacher for that. Sit, listen, understand until you come to believe in that knowledge, what they have experienced from their standpoint. Why? The spiritual knowledge is supposed to function in the world, sir. A spiritual man is supposed to function in the world. 24 into 7 is supposed to run. Like Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, no? Krishna runs, he runs around, does so many things, and yet he is mentally peaceful. That is the state. I don't like, some people calling them saints and just sitting and doing nothing. So many saints have gone. They don't do anything. They just sit under a particular tree or under a particular mountain and sit and do nothing. They just keep on looking like that. They are not saints. You have no idea. It's very easy to put the other person down. We love doing this. Okay, so let's not put anybody down. Faith in my God should not be no faith in others. That should not be the criteria. So there's this beautiful poem called Mountain and the Squirrel. I've done this a long time back, but I don't know whether I've done it in this class. In this, there is this mountain and a small squirrel. The mountain looks at the squirrel and says, "You little prig, you are a chotu. What capacity you have?" The squirrel looks up to the mountain, starts by saying, "It's true, you are mighty and big." He doesn't put himself down. He doesn't put the mountain down saying, "Why are you saying this? You are big. Yes, you are mighty. You are amazing. You make a very pretty squirrel track. I agree. But if I am not so mighty as you," says the squirrel, "neither are you so spry as me, so active as me." God has made us different. And then he adds this last three words, beautiful sentences. "Talents differ, all is well and wisely put. If I cannot carry forest on my back, neither can you crack a nut." Your talent is different. My talent is different. Everybody's talent is different. Let us not put each other down. An intelligent way of living in this country is to learn from each other. Whatever I lack, I learn. Whatever you lack, you. And that's the way studies are. So nobody is perfect. So you need to function from that way. Have a surrender towards a higher authority whom you consider a higher authority. This was very important to be said because we are doing the theories of Sanchita, Prarabdha, and Agami, and many people have different concepts. So what we are trying to explain in this great text of Tattva Bodha written by Adi Shankaracharya is this person's opinion and this person's vision of perhaps what that great Advaita philosopher Adi Shankaracharya may have thought about while he is writing such a text. That's the beauty. So while he is writing the text as a precursory to Vedanta Shastras, these are the terminologies which may come up. And that's what we are doing. So last time we did is Sanchita. Sanchita, we already did the verse, but I'm just brushing it off in the next probably 5 minutes. Sanchita is that bank we call Sanchit Vasanas or Sanchit Karma. It's just synonyms. Sanchit Vasanas or Karmas are that particular bank from which all this particular individual's karma, vasanas, desires have come up. So the person sitting here, whom you are seeing in your monitor, is just an embodiment, just a spark from that conflagration of what we call Sanchita, a collective vasanas. So out of this collective vasanas, one set, maybe lakhs and lakhs of vasanas, out of that lakhs and lakhs of vasanas, one set of maybe 1,000 vasanas, 10,000 vasanas, they are coming ahead as if there is a race going on, and some of these vasanas need immediate fructification, immediate manifestation. So it's pushed forward by sheer force of other vasanas that you have to go, and they are pushed, and that's the manifestation of the physical personality and the physical environment. So Sanchit is that, the collection. How much is there? It's a theory. We have no idea. How can we have idea? When I am sleeping, I'm snoring away. Don't snore, okay? Don't sleep. You're already up. Snoring away to glory. I wake up, I open my eyes, and I see the world. And I have thoughts. From my thoughts comes desires. So I have a thought. I want to maybe communicate to the world. From there the desire is come. Desire is maybe we can do this particular text. And then it starts into action, manifestation. So when the thought comes, from where has the thought come? No idea. I have no idea from where the thought has come. So there must be somewhere where the thought has come, right? It has to come from somewhere. Without the seed, how can the tree grow? So there has to be a cause for this thought or any thought to come. There must be. That causeless cause, that cause which gives birth to the thought is called vasanas. How much vasanas is there? I know only thought. I don't know anything beyond that. So the concept is given, there are enough vasanas. Yes. So every time the manifestation keeps on changing, I grow. Yes. I am born. Yes. I grow. Yes. Then I become a middle-aged person. Yes. Then I become a old age person. Yes. Then I became a diseased person. Yes. Then I die. Yes. After death, what happens? See, again the question. There is no acceptance of things as they are happening now. So since my mind keeps on inquiring from where, how, why, the more I keep on asking, the more the answers need to be given for this insatiable mind. Therefore, these theories are given. There is this bulk, Sanchita Vasana. From there you have come. Acha. How many more vasanas are remaining? We don't know. Because you are asking about a theory which is just put there. How many? And that Sanchita, then you say you exhaust, and then there will be further births. Next birth will also be there, and after that next birth will be there, because naturally there was previous birth also. How do we know there was previous birth? It has to be there. How many previous birth? Aneka janma. Since the mind wants all these answers into unknown areas, answers are provided by theories which cannot be familiarized, experimented, and stated down as a fact. Therefore, these things are many births we don't know. Therefore, intelligent people, their focus is not so many births I had lived like this. Their focus is what am I doing now. Therefore, Sanchita, Prarabdha, Agami, these concepts are given only to explain the state of a realized person. When a realized person acts, then they say there was Sanchita, now it is not there. There is Prarabdha, there is all those concepts are given only from the. For the normal person like you and me, if you are normal, if you are a great guy like Shankar, I don't know. But if you are a normal person like us, then the focus has to be only, I have certain desires in my life. Say 10 desires I have. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Out of that 10 desires which are dependent on some person, object of the world, or some situation in the world, which is a very variable factor, which is not in my hands. I will be happy when others are happy. You're finished. Einstein says, I don't know what is the secret of happiness, but the secret of being sad is trying to make everybody around you happy. It's a ridiculous thought itself. So I will be only happy when others are happy. No, I will be happy, and when I am happy, automatically others will be happy. So the focus has to start from the individual. So these concepts are given only for us. It is, I have 10 desires. Out of 10 desires, since it is dependent on the external world and relationships, chances are 5, maybe 4 will remain unfulfilled, and 6 may be fulfilled. Chalo, being optimistic here. So 6 desires are fulfilled and 4 are unfulfilled. And if the mind is not trained properly, then the tendency of the mind is always to sit under something that is wrong and cry about it, rather than looking at the success rate and be happy about it. This is the tendency of mind. This is everybody's mind. Don't worry. Everybody's mind is like this. So it will focus on only how much, So 4 is remaining still. It is incomplete. It will start crying. And that unfulfilled desires, it what creates further desires. Thinking about it again and again and again, and it makes one an agitated person. So only focus on that. Individuals, simple people, focus only on desires, and most of these desires should be always having a particular tinge of unselfishness or selflessness. We have already discussed this, where you don't have any ego, and the job is not that I have to do it. The attitude should be, this needs to be done. Like the great master Vivekananda, there is this quotation of his. He says, tomorrow if I am not there, you think Vedanta will cease? I will be speaking from different rivers, streams, leaves, roots, trees. In this air, I will be there, completely and continuously giving up this knowledge, Vedanta, to everyone, until all belong to this. It's not based on one person, one individual. So that kind of a thought, where the activity becomes more important than the person who does it, becomes selfless. Once you have that, automatically all the desires get demolished and you reach the state of self-realization. That's it. So Sanchita is that bank. It's a theory. Prarabdha, dangerous situation where it is simple. At present, my physical body is born. Okay. At present, I am in a particular situation and environment. At present, I need to go through certain experiences in life, and they will go on. Experiences will continue whether I like it or not. However, I will not say my nails should not grow. Oh, my nails should not. It will grow because it's prarabdha. Hair will grow. It is prarabdha. Hair will go white. However much I put color into that, black, blue and yellow, it doesn't make a difference, because it will have its normal color. It will have its normal growth, disease, decay. It's a physical body. So prarabdha will have to go through experience. Yes, correct. Now, when we explain that prarabdha, I'll just read to you the prarabdha again so that you understand what we are getting into. If asked thus, what is prarabdha? We have done this, I'm just reading it. What is prarabdha karma? Having created this body, actions performed through it results in joy and sorrow of the world. They are called prarabdha karma and can be exhausted only by experiencing them. Underline only by experiencing them, because this is one of the most misunderstood concepts. When we use the term only by experiencing them, when we go through relationships, when we go through pain from these conditions and relationships, we feel that anyway we have to go through the experience. We don't have a choice. Karna hi padega. And then the famous word in Hindi called takdeer mein likha hai. It is written in my destiny, sir. So people, majority of people, start believing in some kind of a gray counter, a gray area, which can give solution to whatever I am experiencing now, the sorrows of the world, not the joys. So when you are happy, you will never go to a palmist and tell him that, please tell me how long I am going to be happy because I want to be sad. You don't say that. When you are sad, you show it. So look at my hand. Look at my birth chart. This is the time I was born. This is the star under which I was born. All these, as I told you last time, are a shop. A shop for a weak mind. And as Swami Ramatirtha beautifully puts it, and before him the great man Buddha himself, whenever any thought occurs to go to a soothsayer, go to somebody else to say about what is going to happen to me in the future, means it is a weak mind. It is a diseased mind. Understand this. I am not saying it. Please don't put me into positions. This is the great man himself saying it, Ramatirtha and Buddha. People who are relying on authorities who tell you that this is the positive energy and this is the negative energy and this is that, rectification, all that, there is one basic fault in all this. Logically, I am explaining to you. So if still you believe in it, it's up to you. Continue. There's no problem there. But this is the way it goes. Whenever I feel that this completes me, whenever I feel that this completes me, this particular situation, this particular shoes, this particular car, this particular t-shirt or a shirt when I'm going to an interview, this particular pad I put before so that I score more centuries, any kind of a thought where my performance of any action, my idea of identity is dependent on some external object or a person which is variable by nature. The problem is all the situations and things around me are temporary and variable by nature. So the more I am dependent on them for my happiness, the chances are, since they are variable in nature, situation can change. And when the situation changes, the same person who was loving me, who was so-called giving positive energy to me, will start giving negative energy. The same person. The same house which feels positive will feel negative, because the very fact that you are understanding that there is positive and negative in something other than you. And Vedanta starts from the point of view, Mano buddhya hamkara chittani naham. I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the ego. Nacha shotra jive, nacha grana netre, nacha vyoma bhumi, na tejo na vayu. I am not the five elements also. I am not the one who sees. I am not the one who hears. Then who am I? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. I am Shiva. I am the Almighty. Almighty doesn't mean I am sitting God like this and I am the God and you are all servants. It's not that. It's just an attitude that I am completely independent. My happiness is completely independent of any external situations and surroundings around me. There is nothing in the world as special as me. You say that to yourself. Whatever I am going through in this world is a dream. It's like a dream. And in this dream, I am in complete control. Complete control. When I dream When I was a child, I dreamt that there was this ghost which came running behind me, floating. And when that ghost came, one eyes fell down, one tooth is broken, and the blood seeming everywhere, and that vision is floating behind me, and I'm running. And in olden times, they always show these horrors in big houses. So I was running in a big house, and terrified, sweating, and I'm running, and this vision is running behind, very very dreadful. And as I ran, my back hit the wall. There was nowhere else to go. And I looked at that vision. The vision came and it started bringing her nails and right about to strangle me. I said, "Oh my God, what are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me?" The vision stopped and said, "I don't know. It's your dream. You tell me what I should do and I'll do it. It's your life. You have made it. 100% you have made each and every decision in the life to marry or not to marry. If not to marry, am I happy? If married, why did I get married? If I am happy, I want children. Why do you want children?" Every decision, right from marriage to education to everything, children and grandchildren, each and every aspect of my life is dictated by one thing: my own decision, my own choice of action, either preceded by ignorance or preceded by knowledge. I didn't know I had to get married. Everybody was getting married, therefore I got married. Ignorance. Or by knowledge. This is the person I want to get married because I think I'm going to be happy. Knowledge. Every decision is yours. Since every decision is mine, the world created around me is at present my decision. Yes. So it is my creation. Yes. So if it is my creation, I can't blame anybody for my agitation. Yes. So when I am blaming that person, that is the person I am getting agitated. This situation is what is causing me agitated. I am wrong because I am the creator. Yes. So when I am the creator and I created all this, then I have a chance to redeem and make my life better again. Yes. So 100% whatever is happening around, I can change and control the factor and make my life better. Yes. So the onus of change, the onus of the responsibility of change is not on anybody around, not on relationships, not on situations, not on houses, not on countries. It's completely upon me. Yes. Now we have understood what some experiences you need to go through. That is prarabdha. Prarabdha is not raising your hands and saying, "Nothing is in my hand. I will have to go through experience." It is ridiculous. It's never there. Swami Chinmayananda, a great rishi, used to make this comment. He says, whatever happens in my life is God's gift to me. Whatever comes in my life is God's gift to me. What I do with that is my gift to Him. Whatever comes in my life, at present, I have no control whatever happens in my life. I have no control over whatever happens in my life. But what to do with what happens, I have complete control. People are sitting and crying, "Why God did this to me?" When you go to a gym and you start working out, in the start, first day, second day, maybe a trainer will come and say, so I want to train myself and I want to become stronger physically. Okay. So how much dumbbells you can pick up? Oh, I can pick up around 30 kilos, 30 kilos of both hands I can. How much? So around 20 times I can do. Let me see. And 20, 15 to you do, 20 you said it, 15 you do, and after that 5 you are struggling. Somehow you manage it, with your breath and all. After that, finish 20. The trainer doesn't clap the hand and says, very good, superb, you're good. He says, give me 5 more. At that time, you don't look at the trainer and says, I did the whole thing. In fact, completely I completed. Why are you so cruel to me? No. The trainer is not cruel to you. The trainer knows you have not touched your capacity. Similarly, when people sit and cry, why God has done this to me, is because you can take it. You can carry the 30 kilos. Others can't. A squirrel working, whatever he gives you a little something and you say, wow, what a great work, because that person is a squirrel. They have a limited capacity. But you are an elephant. As far as workload is concerned, you are an elephant, then don't work like a squirrel. Don't come down from your capacity. This is prarabdha, not depending on anything that the world throws at you. So throw all those belief systems from the head, saying that if I do that, I will be happy. Because whenever that if condition changes, then you will land up in trouble. You will land up in trouble. This photograph, somebody came to our house and there is this Bhagavad Gita photograph, of Krishna and Arjuna, where Arjuna is with bow and arrow, he is standing and Krishna is there behind guiding him. Some person came and they looked at the photograph and said, oh my God, this Mahabharata photograph in the house, this is very evil, it's a bad omen. Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight a righteous war. He is educating Arjuna, the highest philosophy. They are saying, in whoever's house this photograph is there, there will be a lot of fights. So he kept quiet. Then the person is saying, what do you think? I said, I don't think all this. Whatever is comfortable. No, but what do you think about this photograph? Like, if this photograph is there, there will be fights because fight is there. I said, go to 10 houses where there are no photographs and see whether the fights are there. Then that lady only saying, हाँ लड़ाई झगड़े तो सबके घर में होते हैं, then why blame photographs? This is the photograph that will give me positive energy. This is the photo. If today is positive energy, tomorrow it will become negative. Keep it for aesthetic value. If you don't want it, get it out. It's as simple as that. But my happiness is not dependent on any of the external matters and relationships. Even with relationships, my own husband, my own wife, my own children, whoever they are around me, my parents, please request, never have a begging bowl in your hand and keep on asking them, please give me some love. Please, all beggars I have seen around, each one of us. We are begging for something or the other. Either a physical health, 90% relationships, or little bit more evolved knowledge. Please give me something. We would like to rely on everybody. But one concept is, we never say that I don't want to rely on it. A time should come. Even this knowledge, I am listening. Yes, it makes me good. But a time should come where I don't need to be dependent on it. Anytime it can be switched off, I am alright because I am independent of this knowledge. Vedanta Shastras are in the books, in the teachers who have lived their lives. But when you start understanding them, then you don't follow Vedanta Shastras in the books. No. That was given for a different purpose, for a different generation. You are belonging to a different generation, a different group of society. a different ideological structure. Now, whatever you do with your enhanced intellect becomes Vedanta. You don't need to follow a structure. You don't need to follow a book saying it was written in that book, therefore we are like this. It is stupid. Some books, some things is written 5,000 years back. If it is applicable now, you use the same thing. Otherwise, it doesn't. At that time, there was sati. Is it needed in this country? That time, there was Johar. Is it needed in this country? Sati was created because the husband died, and when the husband died, the wife was thrown into the fire, or perhaps one wife voluntarily jumped into the fire saying that I can't live without my husband, and all the men and the society took it up saying that, wow, this is true love. When the lady dies with the man, it is true love. Then the lady folks started thinking that what if women die? What if women die? Then does the man also jump into the fire? No, he can get married again. Arey, what is this? When they started thinking, and people started pushing the ladies into the fire to prove that she is in love with anybody. Giving the example of Ramayana, where Sita was thrown into Agni Pariksha, it's entirely a different episode. Sometimes when we have time, I will explain to you the concepts of Ramayana, where the interpretation of Ramayana is entirely different than what people talk about, man, woman, relationships. It's entirely beyond that. So they give that example and started pushing women into the fire. Is that needed now? Does the dowry system need it now? Where a girl needs to be married and the girl needs to be married. The first thing the poor father, whatever the father, mother's income is, they have to think about how much we have to give. Lakhs and lakhs of rupees spent. Is it needed in this kind of country? So, new rules, new laws are to be interpreted from the same old granthas to the coming generation. Therefore, none of the youngsters take to the Vedanta classes. They don't, because it's for old people's game. They only talk about the past. This happened. How is that applicable now, sir? So when you do that, you understand what Prarabdha is. Prarabdha is my personal embodiment. Whatever I have to go through, experience physically, I'll have to go through. But there is no dependency on anything else. There is nothing variable about it saying that this happened, it is in my taqdeer. Therefore, some people will come and say, don't worry, we'll do some puja, we'll do this, and everything will go away. There is nothing, it's superstition. Somebody puts a lemon around my house and gone. Somebody does my puja somewhere, some black magic. In your name, black magic has happened. One child was asking me this question yesterday in one of the schools I'm teaching. That, sir, is there black magic? Is there bhoot, pet, pishach, all these things? I told them, beta, is there coronavirus? He said, I don't have it. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, is there virus, coronavirus, malaria virus, some viruses, 1,000? Yes, there is there. How many viruses are there in this room? So, class of 130 people. He said, lots of viruses. Give a figure, 100 viruses? No, sir, thousands and thousands. 6th standard boy. Thousands and thousands of viruses. So, in thousands and thousands of viruses, why don't you get any virus? Because your immune system is strong. When your immune system is strong, the viruses, though they may be there, may not be there, we don't know, you don't catch them. When your immune system is weak, when you don't eat healthy, when you don't drink healthy, your immune system becomes weak. When you don't think properly, immune system becomes weak. At that time, the viruses will attack you. Yes, sir. Science. Yes, sir. Similarly, when you are mentally weak, when you have a begging bowl in your hand for all relationships of please pay a little attention to me, you are a beggar. And whenever that beggar comes in near my car, I just drive away, roll my window and drive away. Because we don't like people begging for things. Yes, sir. So your mind, if it is weak, it will catch all the diseases. And these are the diseases. All this. Do this mantra, you will get money. You have to do mantra to get money? Work, for God's sake. Work. Do some work, constructive work. Look around in the world. Get whatever talented you are, do. Money will come. Where it will go? But if I chant this mantra, you will get more money. If I chant this mantra, that relationship will happen. What kind of nonsense? In Prarabdha, you move beyond that. We move on to the next verse. Verse 35. Freedom from binding actions. By the firm self-knowledge that I am Brahman alone, Sanchita karma is destroyed. Simple. All that bulk. How many vasanas? Millions and millions of vasanas, millions and millions of desires. How it is destroyed? I am Brahman. I am the self. Whole Sanchita is destroyed. Whole concept. It doesn't matter how old a cave is. The darkness in that cave may have existed for thousands and thousands of years. It doesn't matter. So anybody can give a reference in that, oh my God, the darkness is there for thousands of years, continuously. One matchstick is enough to give light. So all that ignorance, first of all, theory. So when can you realize? Right now. Janaka asked his teacher, Ashtavakra, when can I realize? He said, you climb this horse. Half you moved there, you will realize. And that's what they say the story was. He put his leg and then he crossed his leg to climb the horse. They say he realized. So soon you can. Just shrug the shoulder. They said, all your past karma. What past karma? Sanchita. What Sanchita? Whatever happens in my life, I have no control. But what to do with what happens in my life, I have complete control. I love you, you say to your relationships. You say it, I love you. But never for a moment think that my happiness is dependent on you. Don't say this. You stick to saying, I love you. Keep it that way. But this should be going on inside your heart. Never for a moment think that my happiness is dependent on you. With you, I am happy. Without you, I am still happy. It's okay. I'm still happy. So the reliance on relationships, the reliance on objective world should reduce until it becomes completely zero. Then you are with the relationship. Why? Because it is just the way it is. Going on nicely. You don't need to upset the cart. You are happy come what may. You are an independent soul. When you have that kind of an attitude, then further desires don't build up. You do what is required to the best of your ability and move on. There are no grievances that, oh my God, I should have done this. There are no result orientation that, oh my God, this should have been the result and this is not the result. There is no thought like that. Do what you can. Karmanne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Do your karmani eva adhikar aste. Only duty is to do your karma. Whatever is your karma, you do. Ma phaleshu ka. Don't even think about results. It will come. Where the result will go? Any activity you do, it will have a repercussion. It will come. Don't worry about that. You just do your job. So when you do that, one day at a time, one moment at a time, suddenly you see that everything changes. The whole Sanchita disappears into blankness. There is nothing. Whatever comes, you are all right with it. And a beautiful example is given in the Shastras of Ganpati. Kubera was one guy who had money, god of wealth. We call Lakshmi goddess of wealth. When we call Lakshmi Mata goddess of wealth, we are talking about good values which Lakshmi needs to inculcate into other people. So these are good values. Kubera is the god of wealth, and wealth is always depicted as an asura. So Kubera is an asura, lot of money. He became very arrogant because of his money. So he looked around and said that, okay, let me, put somebody down. And he found Lord Shiva. A poor guy is sitting on top of the Himalayas, closing his eyes, sitting. He's got his wife by the side, Parvati, and these two small kids are there, Kartikeya and Ganpati, playing around. What children will do, playing around. So don't never have a picture of, Shiva sitting in meditation, Parvati sitting in meditation, and Ganpati and Kartik also sitting there. Children will not. They are moving around. So they are running around. Kubera goes there and tells Shiva, Shiva, please come to my party. I have thrown a big party. A big function is going on. Please come. Shiva knows that this fellow just wants to show money. Therefore, he's come. Shiva says, listen, he's never disrespectful. Lord Shiva is very sweet. So listen, I don't want to come. I can't come. No, so plus you should represent this family because nobody is there. Parvati Mata is also busy. He says, do one thing, take Ganesha. Take Ganesha. And he will represent us. He is just a child. How much he will enjoy, how much he will eat. You don't worry. And then he says that be careful because the fellow gets very hungry. Okay. So when he gets hungry, he becomes uncontrollable. So you feed him. Kubera smiled and says, sir, the whole world, all the gods are coming and it's a festival, what can a child do? So don't worry, sir. It's okay, fine. Ganesha is happy to go to a party, cakes, wafers, all those things are there. So Ganesha is jumping and saying, okay, I'll go. The party happens. Ganesha sits for food. He says, I want food. So the patta is put, the leaf is put, and all the food is kept. And Ganesha doesn't have hands and legs. He has a trunk. So he puts the trunk, tap, 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 he eats the whole thing. Then they get a big pitcher, a big jug of paisam. Paisam means, what's it called? I don't know. Sevaya paisam. So they have that sweet. It's a sweet. So they give it nicely. Everybody has with a spoon or something. Ganesha puts a trunk inside. Kheer, yeah, in Hindi kheer. Puts the trunk inside and takes it out. Whatever you put in that fellow's plate, it's emptied. In 2 seconds, it's emptied. Kubera says, what is this? He is like eating, and then he starts eating other people's food. The other person sitting beside, he's taking that, he's continuously eating. He gets so hungry because all the people, everybody's food is eaten. He doesn't know what to do. So he goes into the kitchen and whatever is being made, then he puts his trunk inside each and every vessel and eats it. He's constantly eating. He finishes that. Kubera doesn't have any idea what to do. He gets panicked because Vishnu is there, Brahma, all these great masters are there, gods with their families. And this Ganesha is going on. He goes everywhere, then he sees the plankton decorations, And when he sees that decorations, he takes that decoration and takes the plankton and eats that also. He eats everything. Kubera is frightened. He immediately mentally calls Shiva and says, please sir, come and help me. It's a destruction of my function, Please do something. And Ganesha is running around amok. Shiva comes and Ganesha runs to Shiva, and then Shiva gives him something in the trunk. Ganesha takes that, eats, and then he becomes satisfied. Kubera saying he ate the whole thing, including the decorations. After eating the whole thing, his hunger is never satisfied. You gave him something in the trunk, he ate it, and it became all right. What is that magic portion what you gave? Shiva showed him some roasted rice. He says, that's it? much. That's it. Roasted rice. So a human being is like a Ganpati. We are all like that. We enter into a world to satisfy ourselves. Our need of satisfaction through sense objects and sense perceptions. If I take this, I will be happy. If I take that. But the problem is every time the if I keeps on continuing, and afterwards also whenever my desire is fulfilled, I'm still agitated because it breeds further desires. When will a time come when I am just happy? Never. Until the focus is on external situations and circumstances and relationships with a general idea underlining saying that that is what is going to make me happy, or this person is who is making me happy, till then I will independently never be happy. Running around trying to enjoy the world, and there won't be any enjoyment, because before I enjoy also there is something else which crops up. Before enjoying, before having breakfast, I'm thinking about lunch. Before having lunch, I'm thinking about dinner. Every time the mind is going ahead. What will happen 3 years hence? What will happen 5 years? Is this the quotation? Every time, what will happen? Find out what you want. All these quotations, all these ideas are running around. If this will happen, if this will happen. To such a mind, an idea of selflessness, an idea that yes, you have a desire, whatever be the desire, give that desire a tinge of selflessness. Let not the ego perform. Focus on the performance, not on who is doing. And after the job is done, to the best of your ability, leave the rest. Like a farmer planting the seed. You plant the seed, you water it, you do everything you can so that the seed can flourish and become a beautiful sapling. After that, leave it. A child was given a seed, a sunflower, and said, "Beta, put the sunflower." He put it in the mud, nicely watered it, and after 1 month, nothing came out. So the father said, "Why, beta, the flower is not come out, or there is no leaves also, it's just there." "I don't know why, Papa. Every time, every day I keep on digging and look whether the seed is there. It is there." So father said, "Sorry, every day are you digging up the whole thing and seeing the seed?" "Yeah, but it is not growing." "Arey, you have to put it and forget it. Don't keep on looking. You put and you forget, it will happen." Similarly, put the action, it will happen. When you do that, do action for action per se, without any arrogation that I am doing it, then those vasanas, those seeds don't germinate further. And when they don't germinate further, no further vasanas and no further desires are created. Then no further desires are created, I always am happy, because there are no unfulfillment of desires. This need, then what happens? What is the difference between desire and a spiritual person's desire? Normal worldly person desires, I have to do, I have to do, I have to do. This is it. This needs to be there. A spiritual person, this activity by me needs to be done. Do it, out you go. Performance and get out. Performance and get out. Don't look back what result it reaps. If the result comes, take it. See it, whether this is the result you wanted from this particular action. And if the thought comes that this is not the result, then change the process so that the result is acquired. But you are not hanging on to the result saying this should happen. Those dry seeds will not germinate. And no further germination, you reach that higher state. Whole Sanchita knocked off. whole Sanchita is knocked off, yes. But then, sir, when that spiritual person is doing some activities, he will have to act in the world. Na? Yes, he will have to act in the world. So when he acts in the world, what happens? The result, some result will come, right? What will happen? Yeah, some result will come. We'll see that in the next class. Most probably, I am not sure, but most probably, next class perhaps may be the last class of Tattva Bodha, this text. Most probably, we'll try to see whether we can, because two more verses to go, and then we'll decide. Thank you very much. Hari Om.